So coming onto your mat. If it's okay to keep the soles of your feet flat to the floor so the knees stay bent. And just for a few moments, just wiggle the shoulders around. And if you're okay to close your eyes, close your eyes. And the next time you breathe in, draw your shoulders up towards your ears. And as you breathe out, let the shoulders drop away. As you breathe in, draw the shoulders up towards your ears. And as you breathe out, let the shoulders drop away. In breath, draws the shoulders up. Out breath, away. And just continue doing that a few more times, just being with your breath. And being with that feeling of the movement of your shoulders. But the next time you breathe out and the shoulders just rest down to the floor, we're not pulling them away, we just let the shoulders rest. Be aware of your breath, know that you breathe, and then take your attention to the back of your shoulders. Push the back of your shoulders or the shoulder blades down into the floor. Push the shoulder blades down, breathe in, and you feel the chest rise at the front. And then when you're ready to breathe out, just let it go. And take your time. And if you just join, that's okay. Just coming onto the floor, being with your breath. And one more time, push the back of the shoulders down into the floor. Breathe in, and when you breathe in, you can feel the chest rise at the front. And then as you breathe out, let go. So we're just using the breath and using those movements to free up the muscles around the shoulders. Breathe as you need to. So this time, you're going to draw the shoulders down into the floor and then draw the shoulder blades together. So it's really quite strong movement. It's not that comfortable, and that will push the chest up at the front. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, let go. Breathe in between as you need to. So just do that one more time. Push the shoulders down into the floor. Draw the shoulder blades together. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, let go. Breathe as you need to and feel the breath, perhaps in the back of your body. It's hard to feel our breath in the back. And then when you're ready, we're going to take the arms up towards the ceiling. Reach up through the fingertips so you could touch the ceiling, and that draws the shoulders off, it rounds the upper spine. And if you draw your chin slightly down, breathe in. Then as you breathe out, drop the shoulders. Can you feel the shoulders really sink into the floor, and take the arms wide at shoulder height, palms facing up. So feel the back, breathe as you need to, feel the back of the shoulders resting on the floor. Then we're going to turn the palms down and turn the palms up. Turn the palms down and turn the palms up. Turn the palms down and turn them up. And then as you continue to do this, start to lift the arms. So we start to bring the arms up towards the ceiling. You're still rotating through the palms, but can you feel that in the back of your shoulders? If the shoulders are quite tight, which in most of us shoulders are quite tight, you might feel not that comfortable. And then when you're ready, stop with the palms facing each other. They don't have to be touching. And then again, reach up through the fingertips so you could touch the ceiling. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, keep the arms up, but let the shoulders sink. Breathe as you need to, and then start to rotate the palms again. And you can feel that through the arms, through the elbows, through the shoulders. And as you rotate the palms, take the arms wide, shoulder height again. But this time, can you have the palms so they're facing down? So that just changes the rotation of the shoulders. Make sure you can move your head from side to side and move your jaw so you're not tightening up anything around the neck or the jaw. And then from here, we're going to turn the palms up, turn the palms down. And again, as you do this, take the arms up towards the ceiling. So really rotating through the back of the shoulders. And then stop now with the palms up, arms up, but the palms are facing away from each other, so the knuckles are facing each other. So just change the rotation of the shoulders. Reach up as though you could touch the ceiling. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, keep the arms up, but let the shoulders sink. Breathe as you need to, and then start to rotate the arms again, or the palms again. And as you rotate the palms, take the arms or the hands on the floor above your head. And the elbows don't have to come down. The arms can be the elbows can be quite bent. And just stop with the fingertips on the floor, and the palms are sort of facing the top of your head. Yes, the palms are towards the top of the head, if that makes sense. So the elbows can be lifted, so you're not stretching or anything like that. And again, just be aware of the breath in the back of the body. And then from here, if it's okay, let your knees drop to the right. And let the elbows just drop out now. Let the elbows go out. And the palms now facing up. So all these little movements, they just rotate to the shoulders. And now when we let the knees drop over to the right, we're just starting to lengthen the outside of the left hip. And then bring the knees back up and let the knees drop over to the left. So feel where your breath is in your body. Feel how that feels in the right side of the hip, the outer edge of the hip. And then bring the knees back up. So now notice, if you look sort of either side, the elbows more or less in line with your ears. The forearms are along the floor, hands more sort of above your head. We're going to keep the elbows as they are and just take the hands up, so the forearms up, and then bring the palms of the hands down onto the floor. So that will just rotate through the shoulders. If you can, keep the elbows down, take the forearms up, and then bring the hands back, so the backs of the hands come more or less in line with your head. Keep the elbows down, take the forearms up, and then down. So now the palms facing down, the hands more or less in line with the hips. Take the arms up and back. So just continue to do that a few times. I know it can be quite difficult if the shoulders are tight. It really creates a good rotation in the back of the shoulders. Just working that a few more times. And then the next time, the elbows, keep the elbows down, but the hands come up. So the palms facing up, more or less in line with your ears. Stop there for a few moments. And then we're going to stretch the arms away. So you're on the right. Push through the fingertips. So long arms. Push through the fingertips. Breathe in. And then let go. And now turn the palms down. So that changes the rotation of the shoulders. Push the arms away. Breathe in. And then let go. Stop for a few moments and feel the back of your shoulders. Draw your knees in towards you if it's okay. Or if it's too much for you, you can keep the feet on the floor. And then rock the knees from side to side. And as you rock the knees from side to side, can you keep the back of your shoulders resting on the floor, so you keep that wide open space across the chest. And maybe you can rock the knees a little bit further over to the right, but can you keep the left shoulder down? If the left shoulder lifts, then bring the knees up a little bit. Can you take the knees over to the left? And if the right shoulder lifts, just bring the knees back up a little bit. So you see how far you can go with the knees without allowing the opposite shoulder to lift. So if the knees go to the right, the left shoulder stays down. Just see how far you can go either side. And if it's okay for you, if you're enjoying this, obviously this is enough, don't do any more than this. But if it's okay for you and you feel like you want to do more, maybe the next time your knees go over to the left, you can turn your head to the left as well. And can you bring that right foot towards the left hand? Fold the knee back in as you come to centre. As the knees go to the right, turn your head to the right, and can you take that left foot towards the right hand and then come back. And just see if that's possible for you. But if your attention is on the back of the shoulders, keeping the back of the shoulders really wide and rested, connected on the ground. And if you want to progress it a little bit more, maybe the next time the knees go to the left, can you lengthen both legs out towards that left hand? But when you come back to centre, bend the knees. And when the knees go over to the right, either just stay there, or you can lengthen one leg, or can you lengthen both feet or both legs over towards the right hand. So it's a big opening stretch through the back of the waist. So just see how that feels as you just move from side to side. Or you just stay with the first one when the knees stay bent, and you just rock from side to side. Then eventually you come to centre. Now take the hands on top of the knees. Take the hands on the knees, just ease the knees down. Or maybe take the hands underneath the knees and ease the knees down. Rock from side to side, just seeing how that feels. And then when you're ready, roll over onto your side, whichever side feels good for you. Roll onto your side and come to sit up. So the legs are in front. Legs are in front, just getting used to sitting upright. And we're going to lean back, circle the ankles around a little bit, just have a sense of movement through the feet. And point the toes away, draw the toes towards you. So you're starting to wake up the legs a little bit. Drawing the toes towards you, pointing away, and then stop. And then if you take your attention to the outside edges of the feet, the little toe side, push the outside edges of the feet away, that stretches the outside edge of the legs and the outside edge of the hips. Maybe you can feel the inside edges drawing in though. And then push the big toe sides, the inner edges of the feet away. So that stretches the inner edge of the feet. Or the inner edge of the legs, I should say. And then just do that a few times to point the outer toes away, the little toe sides away, the outer edges away. And you can lean back and then point or push through the inner edges of the feet. That's a good way of waking up the ankles as well, strengthen the ankles. And strong ankles means strong knees, strong legs. Well done. And then just circle the feet. Again, leaning back, bend the knees, and just let the knees rock from side to side. And you can lean back to sort of support the spine. And the next time the knees go over to the right, if it's okay for you, can you bring your hands either side of that right knee? Just being sort of careful, because it can create a bit of stress in the knees, but that's what builds strength in the knees as well if we use these movements. If you can, come down onto your elbows, just see how that feels. And then lift the elbows, come back, and then go the other way. And obviously, if this is enough, you stay here. If you can, take the hands either side of that left knee, and can you come down onto the elbows, but just sort of see if that's possible. And then come back up. And then we can, one more time each side, if you let the knees drop to the right, and obviously if this is enough, don't do any more than this. If you can, the hands go either side of that right knee. Maybe from here, you can take the hands forward this bit if you feel that easy, and then can you lengthen that back leg, that left leg away? So you feel that stretch in the front of the hip, and you'll feel the lower back contract a little bit, so you feel that movement. And if you lift your spine, you get more of a back bend, so the back muscles contract even more, but you get more length in the front. So sometimes it's easier to bring the elbows down, just kind of see what feels nice for you. And then that back leg, then, can you just bring it in, and then lift. And then roll over to the left, so the knees go to the left. Bring the hands, if possible, the hands either side of that left knee. So then, if you can you lengthen that right leg, the back leg, away from you, so you can feel that stretch in the front of the hip, but then you can feel the back muscles contract a little bit. So it's kind of, so then to relieve that, you can bring the elbows down, or you might, if you can keep lifted, sort of see what feels nice for you. But all the time, make sure that the lower parts of you, the parts in contact with the floor, feel okay. And then when you're ready, come back up. And then can you swing that leg round, the back leg round, and then take the legs in front. Give the knees a bit of a rub. It's always a good idea to give your knees a bit of care, a bit of attention. And then we're going to ever so carefully come to stand. So we're going to do some standing positions. We're going to work into the warrior 1 and warrior 2. So coming to stand. So if you come to the back of your mat, take the feet at least hip width apart. Focus your gaze. So with warrior, the warrior series, Virabhadrasana 1 and 2, we want to feel that the lower part of our body in contact with the floor is really strong, connected and grounded. So that's that whole sense of being warrior-like, strong. So first of all, if you bring your hands onto your knees and look down to your feet, because it's your feet that give you that sense of connection, obviously, to the ground. So the hands are resting on the knees, and these can be a little bit bent. Just imagine, because you can, pour the weight into the outside edges of the feet, the little toe side. Pour the weight down into the outside edges of the feet. And then pour the weight, the inner edges of the thighs, the inner edges of the legs, pour the weight down into the inner edges of the feet. Outer edges of the feet, the outside edges of the hips, outside edges of the legs, the inner edges of the feet, inside edges of the legs, inside edges of the knees. And then notice underneath your hands, your knees might become very, very strong. And then lift the spine. And then notice if the feet become very, very strong. And you feel the ground beneath. Focus your gaze and leave the left foot just as it is, as we take a nice step forward, just an easy, comfortable step forward with the right foot. You don't have to go very long, you don't have to do very much at all. And then again, we're going to bring the hands onto that front knee, the right knee. Look down to your right foot and imagine you're pouring the weight to the outside edge of the foot, to the inside edge of the foot. can you send the front knee forward, the right knee forward a little bit more? But with your hands, can you bring it back? Can you send through the bones of the leg, can you send the knee forward a little bit more? But with your hands, can you draw it back? And can you feel or imagine the crown of the head moving forward, far, far away, and then lift the spine? But can you feel the weight resting down into the feet, the legs, the pelvis, the spine, feeling supported by the ground beneath? Then can we take the arms up? And we're not stretching the arms, the weight of the arms rests into the shoulders. And then take your attention to the back heel. And if you rest down into the back heel, can you send the front knee forward? And if you gaze up towards the ceiling, imagine the back of the head just dropping back towards that back heel and the length in the throat. Don't think of dropping the head back really, think of lengthening the back of the throat, or the front of the throat. And then carefully bring the arms back up and step back. And we do the same on the other side, so I'll turn, so maybe do this from here. So first of all, if you bring the hands onto both knees, and the knees can be quite soft, so we want the energy to come up from the ground beneath. Send your weight, or imagine pouring the weight from the outside edges of the body into the outside edge of the feet. So you rest down into the outside edge of the feet. And then rest down into the inside edges of the feet. Outside edges, inside edges, heels, toes. And feel the knees start to activate and become very, very strong, and then lift the spine. You have that real sense of resting down to the ground beneath. Well done. You leave the right foot as it is as you step forward with the left foot, and you take both hands onto that left knee. You allow the weight to go down into that left foot, the inside edges, the outside edges, and you send through the bones of the leg, you send the left knee forward, but with the hands, resist that movement and draw the knee back. But through the bones, through the thigh bone, you send the knee forward. And you might find the shoulders widen, the crown of the head moves forward. We make space in the front of the hips. You feel that real sense of connection down into the floor, and you lift the spine. The gaze is forward, you take the arms up. And as you rest back into the heel behind, the arms might go back, the front knee might move forward a little bit more. Open, widen the front of the throat as the gaze goes up, and you breathe. And then carefully you lower the arms and step back. Well done. So then we readjust the feet. We'll just go again. So we're going to take a small step forward with the right foot, and the back heel rests down as you send the front knee forward. You can take the hands on the front knee again. If you look down at that right foot, imagine you're going down into the outside edges, the inside edges, and the back heel connects to the ground. And you focus and you feel that strength and the energy coming up from beneath. The crown of the head moves forward to make the spine long, but the tailbone rests back towards that back heel. And then we lift the spine and we take the arms up. And as the front knee moves forward, we take the arms back a little bit. And then we come back up. Now this time you feel the weight resting down, down, down into the feet. And the right arm can go forward, right knee is forward, right arm goes forward, left one goes behind, and your gaze can be forward, and you send forward through the fingertips. Stretch the arms away, and you feel that stretch, and then stop stretching. But feel the support coming up from the ground beneath, through the feet, through the spine. And you breathe, and you feel strong, as well as wide and open and spacious. And then we take the arms back up, and then we lower the arms and step back. We step forward with the left foot. Find the back heel connected to the floor, send the front knee forward. Take your time to feel the ground beneath the soles of the feet, because that's what's supporting you. If your feet are supported, then the rest of the body will just sort itself out. You can send the front knee forward a little bit as you take the arms up. You can feel the length through the back leg as the heel goes down. As the arms go back a little bit, the gaze can go up a little bit, and you feel the chest widen and open. And then when you're ready, the left arm goes forward because the left knee is forward, and the right one goes behind. So we open and we abduct the arms, wide, wide arms, wide open, spacious chest, and your gaze goes forward. forward through the fingertips, the front fingertips, back through the arm behind you. And imagine the space between the shoulder blades and the space around the collarbones, inside, up, inside and outside. And then when we're ready, we take the arms back up, come to centre and step back. Right, so we'll see if we can make the legs a little bit longer, but obviously you see what feels right for you. So if you take the right foot forward and go a little bit, you can go a little bit wider because that helps with your balance. Lift the back heel up and down a few times, so just make sure that you can. Lift the front heel up and down a few times, and make sure that you can. And then if it feels okay, you can send the back heel back, you can send the front foot forward. If you're wearing socks, just be careful because you want to really feel connected to the ground beneath. So you can go a little bit wider, or longer I should say, a little bit longer. But always make sure you can lift the heels, you can move the toes. And then you send that front knee forward and the back heel is sent back as the front knee moves forward. And then maybe you can take the arms up, stop there for a few moments, and then the right arm goes forward, and as we open the left arm behind us, we can feel the upper chest turn ever so slightly and the gaze goes forward past the front fingertips. The right arm is forward, the left arm is behind, and the shoulders are far away from the chin, or the ears you can say, but you're not pulling, you're not forcing, you're just feeling that energy coming up from the ground beneath. And then we can take the arms up, come back to centre, and either step back or step forward, whatever feels comfortable for you. Then last time on the other side, send the left foot forward, you can lift the back heel a few times, just to make sure that you can. And if it feels doable, you can go longer with the legs. The back leg can go back, the front knee can move forward. But obviously you always want to feel as though you can come out of it. So don't go so far that you're overstretching, that you feel pulled. Because you can come back to here, it's fine. If you can, if you want to, test yourself sometimes. Go a little bit longer. And then you send that front knee forward, but the back heel stays down. If the back heel lifts, it's okay. You can draw the feet a little bit closer as the back heel goes down. Really think of sending that front knee forward. If you place your hands on the centre of the spine, it's from inside here that we send that front knee forward. If you feel yourself moving forward through the spine, take the hands behind you and draw back and send the front knee forward. Widen across the shoulders. You feel the strength through the outside edge of the foot, the inside edge of the foot or feet. Take the arms forward, take the arms up. And remember, you're sending that front knee forward as the spine goes back. And then we can take the left arm forward and the right one behind. And the gaze goes forward past the left fingertips. And there's space between the chin and the left shoulder. But can we feel wide and open and spacious through the chest and with our lungs and our breath, but also can we feel strong, supported into the floor. You find the inside edges and the outside edges of the feet. And then carefully we take the arms back up, we come back to face forward, and we step forward or we step back. Just kind of see where you are. So it's a very strong position for the legs. So you might want to give the ankles or the legs a bit of a shake. And then stop, so the feet are at least hip width apart. And then again, bring your hands onto your knees. Just sort of see, we go back to that one. There's a very good position to strengthen knees as well as ankles, or the whole body really. So if again you look at your feet, and if you lift up one heel at a time, so that opens the front of the ankles or lengthens the fronts of the ankles, and then let the heels come down. And as we send the knees forward, can you still feel as though you're long and wide in the fronts of the ankles? And then can you find the outside edge of the feet and the inside edge of the feet? That activates something deep inside the knees, so we strengthen the knees. And as you send the knee, if you can, send the knees forward with your hands, resist the movement. So through the bones of the thighs, you're sending the knees forward, but with your hands, you're bringing the knees back. And that tips the weight forward. And eventually, can you bring your hands down and let go of the weight of your head? And then from here, can you start to walk your hands forward? So you go into a bit of a down dog shape, but can you keep the elbows soft and allow the crown of the head to move forward as the heels rest back towards the floor. Then ever so carefully lift the heels to bring your knees down. Well done. And you ease back to child's pose. Just going to see how that is. It's a really child's pose. You might not be that comfortable for some of us, but if you can, easing back, you can support your head with your hands, or your forehead might come onto the floor. Just sort of see where you are with it. Then only when you're ready, coming over to rest onto your back. So taking your time, coming onto your back. And the hands can rest on the base of the ribs, if it's okay, and the elbows are wide. And if your eyes are open, ever so carefully close the eyes with awareness. And feel your body rest onto the floor. If it feels comfortable, you can lengthen the legs away from you. But if you'd rather keep the knees bent, obviously keep the knees bent. So just finding a place where you can rest now after doing those quite strong standing positions. And you can circle the shoulders around a little bit. You can move your head from side to side. And then just as we did when we were standing, can we open the arms wide at shoulder height? But this time have the palms facing up. So again, we had that whole sense of widening and spaciousness across the front of the chest. And also across the back of the chest as well, the back of the spine, between the shoulder blades. And when you breathe in, send the breath into the shoulders, into the back of the shoulders, into the front of the chest. And then as you breathe out, let go. If you're okay to breathe through your nose, when you next breathe in, breathing into that wide open space in the chest, front of the chest and the back of the chest. And then you let the breath go. And you continue to breathe and you feel the weight of the arms resting on the floor, the weight of your shoulders connected to the ground. Feel the back of the body, the back of the ribs, the back of the waist, the lower back. And feel the breath as you breathe into all those areas in the back of your body in connection with the ground. And know that you don't have to do anything but feel that connection. And because our breath and our imagination is very generous, taking your attention to the back of your head and feeling the curve of the skull that rests on the ground. And when you breathe in, is there a possibility of even breathing into the back of the head? And as you breathe out, you let go, and is there just a feeling of space inside the head? And imagine what it would feel like if you did have space inside the head. And when we breathe in, we can feel the back of the head, the back of the shoulders, back of the spine, and the hips. And as we breathe out, we let go and we feel the ground beneath support us. And we know, perhaps just for a moment, that this is enough. And we can rest in awareness of this now and here. And then as we prepare to come out of the practice, take your attention to your hands, and if your hands are wide still, just bring the hands back to rest on the body. Feel the connection of your hands resting, maybe on the belly or the ribs. You can roll the shoulders around a little bit, move the head. Wiggle the toes. You can stretch actually, move the hands again. You can take the arms overhead, you can stretch away. Doing whatever feels nice for you to come back to the room. And only when you're ready, rolling over onto your side. Take your time. Roll onto your side. Opening the eyes. And coming to sit up when you're ready.